Now, the thing is this. Everybody's not going to sync up. Everybody's not going to tap into that all. And I say that, let me say this. There will be some people, there will be many people that will receive blessings in life and still haven't tapped into the all. And what I mean by that,
is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease. It's your boy Soul Immortal. Your table is prepared. It's time to eat, brothers. I got an interesting phone call this morning, man. I was taking my son to school and I just got a random phone call, right? Now, normally I don't answer phone calls if I'm not expecting a call or if I don't know whose number it is, right? But it was coming from the 903 area code, and that's home. So I said, I got to pick up the 903 calls, right? So I picked it up, and it was a brother named Wesley McClinton out of Tyler, Texas, man. And the brother was like, hey, what's going on, Brother Soul? You're like, I just want to call you, man, and tell you that I appreciate what you're doing. Like, I've been watching your videos for some years, and I just appreciate and admire, like the effort you put out and what you're putting out to the world. I'm like, bro, like, that means the world to me. Like, comments like that mean more than any dollar amount, anything mean, man. So I told the brother, like, I really appreciate it. And then the brother just kind of started walking me through his path of enlightenment, man. He said, you know what, man, like at some point in life, I kind of just observed myself and said, you know, I looked around and looked at the way I was spending my money. You know, I had the garage full of toys and all this stuff. And he said, man, if I could, you know, spend money on these things, then surely I could spend money and invest that money in myself, right? So long story short, the brother said, you know, a couple of years ago, man, I made that leap. He said I was on my job for 14 years. He was working in the coal mines of East Texas, right? He said I was on my job for 14 years and I just made that leap. He said I bought my first piece of equipment and started my company, which is W&M Dirt Works out of East Texas, out of Tyler, Texas, right? And he said when I bought my first piece of equipment, he said it was crazy because when I got my first job, he said within the first 2 days of that first job I got, he said I made the same amount of money that I would make. I think he said either in a week or maybe 2 weeks. It was some span of time. He made it in only 2 days, right? And he said, man, things were just going good, right? Then he said, as I began to grow and I began to, study more material and get more enlightenment, he said, man, it was like God just started bringing people in my circle to feed me more information. And then he said a brother that I looked up to, one of his mentors, he said one of my mentors said, have you ever thought about, you know, that what you do, you know, as a hobby now or as a side job? You ever thought about doing that full time? And he said before that, man, he had never even thought about it. So he started making plans to go full entrepreneurship. And he said instantly, man, the people at his job was like, bro, you would have to be crazy to leave this job to do this type work. Left and right, you would have to be crazy. Long story short, he said he made that leap and his life just changed, right? He said, man, you know, I sold my home and bought me, you know, got me 10 acres of land and built another home. He said my relationship with my wife got super good. He said my kids started to respect me different because one, I was home every night. They saw daddy, you know, making power moves and just, making things work for the family. He said, brother, everything was just going crazy good. And then he said this, man, and it almost made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. He says, brother, he said, it was almost like this table had already been prepared for me. You know, we always talk about creating and manifesting things, right? But to be honest, when you really think about it, like once you find self, it's more about tapping in as opposed to creating a thing. Because you have to understand that we're now a part of the all, right? For example, when you invite somebody to your house, or when I invite somebody to my house, the first thing that I do, as soon as they cross the threshold at the front door, the first thing that I say every single time, I'll say, make yourself at home, right? And when I say that, what that means from me is Whatever you see here, like if it's mine, it's yours. You know, if you want to go in the kitchen, if you want to enjoy some of the fruit, enjoy some of the food I got in the fridge, you go in the cupboard to get some cookies, and it's all yours. Like, you don't have to ask. It's, you know, I've already granted you that permission, right? If you want to go watch a little television, if you want to go watch a movie, you know, if you want to go in there and read a few books, like, there's no need to ask. Like if it's mine, it's yours. Just feel free to partake on whatever you want to partake in, right? That's what it's like when you find self. That's what it's like when we tap into the all. Because you got to understand, if we're tapping into what we call the all, that must mean that every scenario has to already exist. In other words, the version of you being a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, the version of you being homeless, living under a bridge, already exists. The version of you living, working a 9 to 5, the version of you being an entrepreneur, the version of you being a CEO of some company already exists. It's simply a matter of you tapping in. And I'm telling you, once you find self and tap into the all, you start to understand that like we said before, there are no things that are impossible. It's just a matter of me syncing up with what I want to be. Now, the thing is this: everybody's not going to sync up. Everybody's not going to tap into that all. And I say that, let me say this. There will be some people, there will be many people that will receive blessings in life and still haven't tapped into the all. And what I mean by that, there will be some people that say, you know what? I got blessed with a job. I got blessed with, you know, a 5% man or woman. You know, I got blessed with, you know, with health. You know, there will be people that receive blessings, but they still won't be fully tapped into the all. When I talk about tapping into the all, what I mean is, again, I'm talking about that Psalms 91 type vibe. I'm talking about that bubble within the bubble. I'm talking about that walking on water type movement, right? It's a different energy. And I'm telling you, once you tap into the all, you'll quickly understand that your table has already been prepared, man. Brother Wesley went on to tell me about, you know, all the blessings in his life, man. And it was just like blessing after blessing after blessing. And the brother was like, he said, it was all just a matter of me understanding how to receive these things in my life, right? And he said, in order to receive these things, all I had to do was become a good steward. Now, I've heard that word, you know, throughout my whole life. I believe it's in the Bible talking about a good steward. But I went straight to Google, right? I said, what does it mean to be a good steward? And Google says this. It says, being a good steward is similar to being an ambassador. It is a respected representative, one who acts on behalf of the company, promoting it. I said, bro, it makes sense. I said, it makes sense. We just talked about this, right? I just made a video. I said, are you moving like the messenger? Are you moving like the messenger, right? And it made sense. I said, brother, if you all you did was started moving like a good steward, and now these things came into your life, it makes sense now, brothers. Think about when you go into a Verizon or AT&T, right? You know, these people have on these crispy type polo shirts with the logos, collars crispy, slacks are tight. The company provides this type stuff because they're a representative of it, right? I know I go work out at Cowboy Fit. That's up there at the Cowboys headquarters, man. And when you see those Dallas Cowboy employees walking around the facilities and the buildings up there, brother, they are crispy. They are clean. Man, you see those executives coming out, brother, they are crispy, suits clean. It's because the company is saying, you know what? You're representing me. Like, I have to make sure you're shining if my name is going to be on your chest, right? What do you think the all, the source, God, Allah, whatever label you want to put on it, what do you think the all is saying when we're acting as good stewards? When we're acting as ambassadors, almost employees, if you want to say that, right? You know, the source is saying, well, dang, if you're going to represent me, I got to make sure you're going to shine, man. Like, I have to make sure, if you're looking out for my best interest, I have to make sure your life is looking like it should be, man. Brother said, all I had to do was be a good steward, man. All I had to do is stand on the word. All I had to do is move accordingly, brother. He said, my life just changed, man. Brother said, it was like a table was prepared before me, man. You know, when I think about this brother's life, he's giving me the whole rundown on from scratch to where he's at now, brother. I said, brother, we've heard this story before. We've heard this story before. And it's in Psalms 23. It says this. It says, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leadeth me into the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art my rod and my staff. They comfort me. Then it says this. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. And then it wraps up by saying this, brothers. It says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.